And I think we are live. Looks like I may have a connection issue. Can you guys see me? There it goes. Maybe I just had a little bit of lag. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to give it just another minute and we will get started. Hi, Louise. And I know this video was short notice, guys, but the replay will be available. The link to Brilliant Vinyl, where I got my SISER Easy Puff, is on my link tree. That is in the description below the video. And so is the file that I'm using today. So if you happen to have gotten it out of the Cricut community, it is there as well, or you can go to my profile and find it that way also. I am just going to show you guys quickly how to design it, and we will then go in and make one. Show you how to use that SISER Easy Puff and layer it with some Cricut Everyday Iron-On. So I see that I have some viewers, but some of you are not in chat, so you may be on Facebook or just tuning in silently, and that's fine. I'm just going to give you a shout out and say hi. And if you decide to join chat, ask your questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. So in this file, I laid out the dog mom. Now, I did mine, and my photo won't fit in there. I put my dog's names in there. So what you're going to do is you are going to use this or type whatever word that you want. Now, I use the Cricut font Cute Chick for this font here. And for this font, I used BFC Flannel Shirt. So those are the two fonts that I use this with. Louise is here. Yay. I can see you. And I left the dog paw that I used in here. You don't have to use that. All I did was duplicate it and flipped it a couple of ways on my shirt. So if you saw those photos or you saw it on the splash screen, you can scatter those about however you want on your design. And I just welded them to my names and did it that way. Now I'm just going to leave this file as is. So I'm going to duplicate this, and that's what we're going to work off of. I'm going to group that and hide it just so that we have a fresh one and I can delete this when we're done. And I'm just going to duplicate that. We're going to hide one too. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So this is what I started with. Again, you can type any word that you want and you can use that. And I did unlock it and stretch the height of mine just a little bit. That is totally up to you. With your names, you can type in any names that you want. And I'm just going to leave this set with your names, create an offset. The offset that I used was 0.056. So once you type that in and go in and get everything set like you want, you're going to create an offset on that BFC flannel shirt. And like I said, I did 0.056. So there it was, and I just went past it, didn't I? There we go. And I thought that that was a big enough offset. And then just hit apply. Once you have that, you can just select those and group it and select both fonts. And I did weld the dog mom, so I think I did. No, I didn't. I did not. It's so you can type in there and just click on it and change it if you want. Everything is changeable. And then we're going to align center. Once you have it centered and hanging off as much as you want, or if you want to put some, hi Sue, or if you want to put some extras on there where you have the glyphs that go on the end and do swirls, you can do all of that kind of stuff that you want. You want to have all of that set up before you create the offset. You want to make sure that this is smaller than your offset if you want to get that same look that I got with this. And then once you have it all centered, you're simply going to, I can ungroup this now. I just wanted to move it together. Once you have it set where you want it, you're going to select your offset and you're going to select the dog mom. Those are the two you're going to select, and you're going to come down to your combine menu and subtract. Doing it that way, oops, did I do something wrong? It didn't ungroup. Oops, let me go back. And there we go. So I've got dog mom and I've got that offset and it should be on the top. We're going to combine and subtract. There we go. And it's going to subtract everything and leave your text that you're going to cut from your iron-on set on the inside of it, just where, and that's going to see how it looks. So if you want more of an offset, you want a bigger space, you can go in and change it. Because it's not permanent, you can always go in and change it if you're doing several. If you want to leave it like this and then make several of them with different names, all you've got to do is undo your subtract and you can get rid of that. Well, that's just the offset. You can get rid of the offset and it will be back to normal so that you have a fresh one to start with. So when you're using the subtract, it just eliminates the need to just, I'm going to get it back in there. There we go. It eliminates the need for having to recreate your word every time. Super easy and simple. And then again, I just put in some dog paws, did what I wanted to do with those, 2 or 3 scattered about, however many you want. And then I did combine those. You can unite or you can, because you can undo that and then it will be ready to change the names to anything that you want. So super easy and simple. I am not going to save that because I want that to stay fresh the way that I had it set up for you guys previously. And it is in the Cricut community under my profile also and down in the description of the video below. So now you know how to set up the file. I've already cut mine. But I am going to talk a little bit about the SISER Easy Puff. I'm just going to grab mine. So I have my SISER Easy Puff here, and you can see that right there. And then I have my Cricut Everyday Iron-On. And when we cut our iron-on Cricut, of course, you're going to mirror. I'm going to pop back over here. When you hit Make It on this, you are going to mirror your design. I'm just going to say for any material, that's fine. And you can break this up too if your names are too long and you don't have a 24-inch mat, you can ungroup your letters and weld it and then put them back together. Totally up to you how you want to do that. But you're going to mirror everything so it cuts, okay? And then when you iron it on, it reads correctly on your shirt. Here's the thing. You're always going to cut your Cricut everyday iron on, shiny side to the mat. You're going to cut on this dull side. However, with the SISER Easy Puff, you're not going to do that. This is your carrier. This shiny side is your material. So you need to cut this shiny side up. So if you're not aware of that, if you haven't used this before, the SISER Easy Puff is shiny side up. This dull side is the carrier. And I'm just going to show you. I've already weeded mine. It weeds like a dream, both of them. Here's my Cricut. And you can see that this is dull. Okay, and my shiny side was to the mat. And here is my SISER. This is the shiny side up. And the mat itself is dull. So make sure that you are aware of that happening. Now, the SISER Easy Puff, the first one I did in my AutoPress, worked beautifully. We're going to try it now with my Easy Press 3. I have a small shirt here just so that we can play around and see. Now, here's the thing. When you're going to layer it, you have to do, usually we would do the main one first and then line this up in there and do it. You can't do that with Puff. Puff is a one press only iron-on. Once it's pressed, it's done. If you do it again, you're going to ruin it. So you can't. It has to be your final layer. And I am just going to find center of my iron-on here. And I'm just going to line up right there and give this a pinch. Hi, Ursula. We're going to give that a pinch. So that's middle, and I've done a line. I've already pre-pressed my shirt, so I'm not going to have to do that 5-second pre-press. So I've got to decide where I want it, and this is a kid's shirt, so I'm going to want it about 3 fingers down from the collar. But this piece is what I need to measure. So what I did is I took mine and flipped it over, and then I lined everything up. Okay? Make sure you got everything all lined up just like you want it. Okay? Doesn't have to be perfect yet. And then I judged my 3 fingers. I usually go 4. Most people do 3, but I go 4. Totally up to you. So that would be the center of my design where I want it. So now I'm just going to peel this one up. And I know where this one needs to be. And I've got my crease in there. So I'm going to line my top crease up and my bottom crease up on there on my shirt. And it's ready to go. Now with the Cricut, I don't use a carrier or put it on there. You can if you want to. Super simple and easy. But it's $3.15 for, and I'm probably going to have to press in 2 presses. I don't know. There we go. It's $3.15 for 30 seconds, or 40 seconds, I'm sorry. But I'm only going to do 20 because sometimes when you're layering, that extra time can make it shrink. And it will shrink at the full time of 40 seconds. So right now I'm just going to do a tack, what I call a tack layer, and make sure that that gets tacked down. And then we're going to pull this off. And while that's cooling, because it is a cool peel, I'm going to change my temp because the Easy Puff applies at a different temperature. So I'm going to go in here to the temp, and I am going to decrease it to 280 degrees. It also applies at a different time. So I'm going to change that time, and the time is 8 to 10 seconds, guys. 8 to 10 seconds. And that no more. If you overpress the Easy Puff, it will not puff properly. So I'm just going to go in between at 9 seconds. So we're going to let that cool down. It's got to cool down for a moment. Does anybody have any questions? I know that some of the people are not on with us right now. They're doing other things and have us in the background. Got several viewers, just not in chat. Want this to cool. If it's not sticking in any places, just give it a little press. If you try to peel it warm, the Cricut, it's not going to stick. There we go. Just gently pulling this off. Again, this is just a tack layer that's not stuck. And I just stretched it. There we go. Maybe it'll be okay. I'm just going to hit this again. I guess I didn't get it under the platen when I pressed it. Give that a second to cool. We're almost down to 280 degrees. And I barely made that with this small press. Like I said, I used my easy press, my auto press for, there we go. I used my auto press for the first one that I did, and I'm loving it. I love this SISER. Okay, so the differences between that and other vinyls, shiny side up instead of down for the SISER Easy Puff. I got a piece of lint or something right here. And, all right, so shiny side up, dull side to the mat when you're cutting your Easy Puff. And we're just going to line this up in there so that it fits. And that did shrink just a little bit, it looks like. Right here I can see it. So I am going to take my scissors and I am going to cut this apart. Don't be afraid to maneuver it, guys. There we go. So that one looks good. And now I can just bring that in and cut this one apart too. So if you have any of it that shrinks a little bit, that's common. That's not unusual. It's unusual that it doesn't, your first layer doesn't shrink some. Just line it up in there. If you cut it apart, you can give it that little bit of maneuvering. All right, so now I've got that lined up. Here's the other thing about Easy Puff. You must protect it. You cannot iron directly onto the carrier. SISER tells you to protect it with either paper or your Teflon sheet or your iron-on protectant. So we've got that on there, and now we're going to go in at 8 to 10 seconds, and we are going, that is all the heat that this is going to get. You cannot repress it. You have to get it right on the first try, and that is it. And it is a hot peel. You must peel this while it's hot. I missed the edge of that, and I can't fix it. So make sure that your press is in there, but everything else came out perfect. That's where my platen was not at. That's why I like my auto press for this. But look how cute that came out. Perfect puff on the rest of it. I don't think I can. I'm going to try it and see what they say. See why they tell you not to press it. Let's do that. That's why I got just a small shirt. And just going to do a 10 count. Nope, it's not going to press it. It's not going to do it. You get that weird look. Let's see if I can scooch this around. Oops. Yeah, you can't press it twice, that's for sure. It's a one-time, once and done. Once and done. So if you miss it like I did right there, it's not going to puff. It's going to get more wrinkly. This is the way it's supposed to look. How cute is that? I should have used my 12. I should have used my 12 by 12 press because I knew I was pushing it, but I tried. I love this puff. It's so cute. So super easy to use. Make sure that you shiny side up, dull to the mat, protect it, protect your carrier before you press it. Press it 280 for 8 to 10 seconds. You cannot press twice. Okay? I hope that answered everybody's questions. I know I've had several people asking me about the puff, if anybody's used it, and people saying, what happened? They're having issues with it. Well, what happened is I didn't cover it. Why this is more puffy than the rest of this. This is the correct finish. Why this one? It's because I heated it again. So if you're having issues with it, it's because it's once and done. But I love it. I love the effect of it. It reminds me of the old fabric puff paints that we used to do in the 80s. Love it. But it is really a lot of fun. I hope you guys try it. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you moderators for jumping on, helping me out here. And all of you viewers who are not in chat, if you have any questions, you can come into the groups and ask those questions. We're happy to help you out. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. I'll catch you on Thursday, and we're going to do a wreath.